Hello everybody and welcome to another great episode of Hillbilly Wine 101 where I am putting out a series of wines and beers that are pumpkin themed. So when we go to our dinners for Thanksgiving, when we have our Halloween parties and we're sitting out giving out candy and the adults are sitting around waiting for the kids to come up, maybe they have a few adult beverages, any Halloween parties, like I say, Thanksgiving, I'm trying to get to some really good wines and beers that fit the theme. Now, I've done a couple wines so far on Purple Toad. I really like this winery. It's a Kentucky winery. Google them. Look at all the cool wines they have. They have some cool stuff. They do. And they have some tasty stuff. And they put some stuff out, some neat bottles. I've had a Christmas tree bottle. I've had a sailboat bottle. So today, what you're going to do, right? Purple Toad, right? Cool little label with the purple frog on it. Got the little pumpkin here. Pumpkin spice. Pumpkin wine with natural spices added. 12% ABV. $14.99. They have a sweetness scale, and it goes from the driest one to the sweetest, which is 6 on their scale. This is a 4. So this is a pumpkin wine. So I guess it is, and I will check and put it in the description, pumpkin, fermented pumpkin, which is cool. That's the fruit they used. I'm looking forward to drinking this. I like the top, right? Top's purple. It's got the little frog with the Purple Toad Winery. All right, this is in Paducah, Kentucky. And I haven't visited it yet, but I really plan to. I can't wait. Maybe I can, if you're watching, you can give me a tour, a nice tour a little bit. If not, I'll take a tour, but I'd like to have one where I could put on here. The Purple Toad comes from, it used to be Purple Toad, spelled T-O-E-D, as in your toes turned purple when you mashed grapes back in the old days. But they changed it to Toad, T-O-A-D, kind of just a fun play on the whole thing, and adopted this kind of a purple tree frog. Anyway, it's a cool, so here we go. It's got a real cork in it. Let me get it out for you. Let me get it out, and we will indulge in this delicious, I don't know if it's any good really. We'll find out. We'll find out, is this worth taking to your party or to your din-din? Because this with cranberry wine, right, is a big thing at Thanksgiving. And this also doubles for Halloween. So, here we go. What is that? It's an orange. Coppery orange. Pumpkin's orange. So it's kind of a coppery, orangey color. Let that warm up a second. Not a lot of nose coming off of that. Let me get the cork off here. Oh, I just got home from work. Had a pretty cool day actually. I may talk about it on my other channel. We'll talk about it right now. So anyway, look, it's got the little frog. All right, Purple Toad Winery on the cork. This is not a real cork. This is a synthetic cork. All right, synthetic. Looked real on the top, but I see it's synthetic. No big deal. Real cork, synthetic cork, screw cap. I don't care. See, now the flavor's coming out a little more. Take a sip. Well, it's got the typical pumpkin spice smell. So let's give it a taste. That's weird. Odd. Doesn't have the pumpkin spice taste. Not the typical taste. Wow. First off, it tastes way drier than a 4 on the 6 to me. It's got a very odd taste that I can't quite put my finger on, other than to say maybe it's the pumpkin. If they made this out of pumpkin and not grapes, then that's probably it. I never had a wine made out of fermented pumpkin before. Of course, pumpkin without the traditional spices that make pumpkin pie, it's a squash, and it kind of tastes like a squash. What makes it taste like pumpkin pie, you put the sugar and they add the allspice and the cinnamon and the pumpkin, whatever it is, the spices that make that traditional. So this doesn't really have that. It's got a really unique taste, and I'm wondering if it's the pumpkin. Make a weird statement here. I like this, but I don't think a lot of people will. But but I do. And why don't I think a lot of people will? Because it doesn't have it doesn't taste like pumpkin pie. It's got an odd taste, which I can only assume is fermented pumpkin. It's almost got a Brit taste, which I think is spelled B-R-E-T-T or B-R-I-T-T, which is a kind of it's in a lot of French wines, and even make beer out of it. And it's a I don't want to say I think it's like a bacteria or a fungus type thing that occurs naturally. It's not a big deal, and then a little bit of it adds a lot of structure to wines and to beer. There's a lot of people really like the taste of it. Now it's not a fault. If it's overpowering, it is a fault. But if it's understated like this, I don't know if that's what this is, but it has that Brett taste to it. It's actually considered not a fault, and a lot of people desire it. But I've kind of developed a palate over the years to where I can pick that out, and I appreciate it. It's kind of like the rubbery taste, the compounds that add a rubbery taste to some Rieslings. Not considered a fault if it's way understated, but if it starts getting too much, it is considered a fault. I'm not so crazy about that one. I could take that a little bit, and I could work with it. I don't like it, but the bread I don't mind it. Both of those things do add complexity to the wine. You know what that means? It's another thing that people taste, and it's complex. It's got this on top of everything else. A wine term. But if you're looking for just a fun wine, I want something that's really sweet, tastes like pumpkins. This isn't it. If you want a different wine, a different taste, I think I would not bring this to anywhere where people weren't were kind of beginners on wine and weren't into wine too much. I would bring more of a sweeter, more of a pumpkin-y type wine. This I would bring to people who are a little more into wine. And we would discuss like I'm talking now and see what people pick out, because it's got a little more to it. So it all depends what you're looking for. And it's got that smell of the Brett, and which I don't know that that's what it is. The wine, maybe, hey, there's no Brett in there. Maybe there isn't. That's just what I'm picking out. And that odd smell, which I can only assume is the pumpkin, because I've never had a wine made from pumpkin before. So now I know what it smells like. And you can almost say, if people aren't know what bread is or whatever, that it's kind of, and it fits this. It tastes like maybe like crushed dry leaves, or like fall leaves would be a way to, if I was in the marketing of this, is how I would put that, because it really goes with the season. And it, I think it's kind of got a woodsy, bready type taste to it. So it's unique. It's different. I like it, but I wouldn't bring it personally to where novice wine drinkers are. If that makes sense. If someone who's looking for just a fun Thanksgiving or Halloween wine. But if you got people who are kind of into it and they might want something different, you kind of explain, hey, this is made from pumpkins and it's going to taste, it's not grapes, and then people might appreciate it. But I wouldn't just lay it on them. I'd talk about it first. So, from Hillbilly Wine 101, I hope this sounds fun to some people. I don't know if you can order this online or not. Purple Toad. I've done several of their wines. I do like the wines. They got some cool stuff they put out. And I really am looking forward to visiting this. This is kind of far from my house. I live in Kentucky, but Paducah. But I'm going to make it down there. So from Hillbilly Wine 101, fall / Halloween / Thanksgiving reviews. Cheers, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this.